Bitcoin is up over $72,000 today. It looks like it is going to make that cup and handle I have been talking about since back here in late March. Take a look here. We actually went for the highs almost. We were at just under $73,000 before we got a bit of a pullback. We went from the very bottom of this line right here, exactly on my line at 69,000, all the way up to the very top of my ascending channel here right at $72,800. We're currently at 72,000, just hovering there, waiting to see this thing break out. As long as we get out of this descending channel here, which is actually kind of a lot bigger than it needs to be now, honestly. We've been out of it now that we're here. We're honestly out of it, but I want to see it actually stay out of this even wider descending channel before I'm convinced of it that we're going to the top of this channel here and making new all-time highs on Bitcoin, possibly today, probably this week. I don't know if it'll happen today or not, but we are making a big move up. We are confirming. It has not been yet confirmed, but we are working on confirming that cup and handle formation. And if we do, oh boy, if we do, we're looking at 80, potentially $100,000 on this thing pre-halving if this can hold up above its current level and make a run for 73,500 and take it out very soon. If you look at the Bitcoin miners, man, they are taking off again today. We are up over 10% on CleanSpark. We got the gap up. This is what we're looking for, the gap up. We're about to gap up and go on these people. We are looking at getting over $18 here swiftly once we make another day just like today, or if we hold today. Actually, it's really important that we hold today. I'm getting ahead of myself. I'm sorry. I'm too excited. This morning was great. We need to ah, we need to hold our current level for the day, and we need to stay green today. We need to leave this gap behind us. We need to gap up and go, much like we did back here these last 3 times, starting all the way back in February. If you look at the chart, we like to gap up and go. Little tiny gap up and go, another little gap up and go. We really like doing that, and let's see if we can pull that off one more time. That would be pretty amazing. The only thing really holding us back right now is this. I think this is the 20. I'm sorry, I keep changing them for different trade types. What is going on? There we go. 20. Yeah, it's currently 20. Let me change it to 15. I like it to be 15 on the miners. Let's get it there. Boom. All right, 15 is actually higher. The only thing in our way is the 15 here at $19. We got to get up and above that thing soon. I did that, right? I did that right? Yeah, it's the 15. Okay. Let's take a look at some of the others. So this is CleanSpark. We are up over 10% today. Now it's only 9%. It is fluctuating between those two things. Bitcoin as well is doing a bit of fluctuation, not too much though. It's holding strong. Let's take a look now at Bitfarms. No, yeah, Bitfarms. Bitfarms is up only 4.81%, so it's a little more muted. I think that Bitfarms is probably going to continue to vacillate in this region between 237, like 240 and $2 until they announce their new CEO. I think that's probably what's holding them back here because they have a lot of really good plans on their roadmap and they have been executing on them, but that CEO news has been a bit of a downer. I think they need to establish new leadership to give more certainty to investors that they're going to continue to perform well going into and after the halving. So I think that they are going to experience this just sideways motion in this pretty tight range here until they announce that new CEO. And I'll be looking out for that. And we'll be watching when that happens. And we'll see what happens that day. If it's a big green move up, I think we can confidently say that the down days for Bitfarms will be over at that point. But that point is not today. And of course, this is not financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. Let's take a look at Mara. Mara currently up only 3.4%. So CleanSpark's really cleaning up as they do. So we're taking a look at Mara here. Mara is up a lot less than CleanSpark. Let's take a look at the SMAs on Mara this morning for this open. We did get a gap up though, so that is pretty nice. We are currently, so we came up to the 5-day SMA and we rejected there, so that's not very good. We do need to get up and above this thing, honestly. Like I've been saying on Mara, we have to get up and above this 1980 level and hold it there and hold it strong for a couple of days before we are going to feel like we're going to be moving up on this thing again. Now that is a bit of a challenge here because as you can see, every time it tries to bounce off of this level, it does it pretty violently. So you're going to miss a few dollars waiting for this thing to go up there. But if it's not up there, it's looking like it wants to come back down to the 200 SMA at about $16 still, even though we did get a bit of an update here on Mara. I'm surprised. I wonder why CleanSpark. I'm gonna have to look at the news and probably report that later in terms of what's going on with CleanSpark. I just got so excited about it. I started a video already. Anyways, right up 2.5%. So they're also they're up, but they're not up amazingly. They're moving a little bit. They're still kind of just down underneath this ascending trend line here, which is also bad news for them. Let's take a look at IREn. IREn up 7.5%. They're doing pretty good. They're staying in this range here, this ascending channel that I've got here. It has gotten the 15 to cross over the 50 here, so that sometimes can be bad, but sometimes it's okay. Right now, in terms of the RSI being at 60, the VIX fix isn't like the tiniest I've ever seen it before, so this might not be a turnaround. Sometimes these dots can be a turnaround indicating that it's coming back down. Let's take a look at the volume profile, but first, let's take a look at the top Bollinger Band. Well, just the whole Bollinger Band. Let's take a look at the Bollinger Band. Where are we? So we are near the very top of the Bollinger Band, which means that this could indicate that we might either go sideways or come down a little bit from here on IREn. We do have tons of volume supporting us in this current level, and it does look like if we just get above $6.22, that will likely be moving up on IREn. Let's take a look at CIFR. CIFR is up 8.89%. That's up there in the category of clean spark today. This nice big gap up on the volume profile. We are above the shelf on these boys. And look, the Bollinger Band is all the way up here at 570. So there is a lot of movement potentially going up on here. We did get that red arrow, and it looks like that red arrow has been frustrated with this move today. We did come right up to the 15 and immediately stop and come back down though. So we do need to hold above the 5-day moving average and then slowly move up and above the 15-day moving average before we can start moving to the top of the Bollinger Band again on CIFR. Let's take a look how the warrants were affected by this. I wonder if my buy order on the warrants will ever get filled. Let me turn off the volume profile on this one. That one's pretty intense. I don't know if it will. So we're up at $1.25. It came as low as $1.10, a whole 13 to 15 cents above my buy order on the CIFR warrants. I don't know if I'm ever going to get that buy order in. We'll see. Maybe there will be one more little dip before the Bitcoin halving comes in and sends this thing rocketing up. But right now it's holding up above $1. It looks like it wants to make the move potentially up to 145, maybe even back up to like 150 on CIFR warrants. So if you're watching the warrants, that's what's going on here. It looks like we've made a base and a bottom, and we're going to get a gap up, maybe a gap up and go, especially since CIFR had so much room to the upside on it this morning. Let's see what's going on with MicroStrategy. MicroStrategy is actually up 10% today nearly. It's 9.5%, well, 9.46% if you want to be exact. We're hanging out in between the Bollinger Bands, so this could really go either way. We are currently below the 15 and the 5-day moving averages on this thing, so it's a little more volatile looking than Bitcoin. And of course, we knew that because it is a proxy of Bitcoin, it moves much more dramatically. So this kind of looks like it's just consolidating in that 1,700 to potentially $1,400 range. And I think until we see time that we get out of, let's see, this box right here. Until we see a time that we get outside of this box, we're probably just going to be floating in or near this box for a while until it gets up. Now, if Bitcoin takes off, if Bitcoin decides to go up and make a new all-time high, you better believe we're going for $2,000 again on MicroStrategy. Let's take a look at Square, or sorry, Block. I keep calling it Square. Block up another 1% today. Was this the bottom? Down here at $72. Was that the bottom? Are we going to get that bleed down to 71, potentially 70 or $68 before moving up on Square? If we don't get there before the Bitcoin halving, I don't think that we will. I think that if we do not get there by the Bitcoin halving, that is just going to be up from here on out on Block if that is to happen. Now, I am still waiting. I haven't taken any other positions. I just made a little bit of money on it last week, and I took that profit as I'm waiting for the stock to come back down again, and we'll see if it does. If it doesn't, I'll get into it on the way up. But if it does, I'll be happy that I waited. And of course, this is not financial advice and not a suggestion to buy, sell, or hold any assets whatsoever. This is simply technical analysis of the chart. Let's take a real quick look at Tesla as well. What is Tesla doing? Tesla's also up today, 3.5% today on Tesla. We are getting back above this descending trend line here. We did get stopped by the 15-day moving average though, so that's a bit ominous. I would want to see Tesla conquer this 15-day moving average before I'd say that it'd be moving up again, potentially up to the 180 level where it will meet the 50 SMA. So was this the bottom? Was 160 to the bottom? I don't know. The fact that we did not conquer the 15 SMA and we are currently stuck between the 15 and the 5 tells me that we could potentially come back and test 160 again, and that would be the third major tap after a bounce on the 60, which could be the breaking point at that 160 level. So honestly, again, I am still just waiting. Uh, Last one, NVIDIA. What's going on with NVIDIA today? It is, it's down. It's down a percent. So we are currently still holding in this somewhat of a bear flag pattern. And if you can look, if you see here on the descending channel that I've drawn here, we went from the top to the bottom in one day. We came back to the middle the next day, and today we opened at the very top of that descending channel, and now we have met the bottom of the ascending channel here. If it breaks beneath this ascending channel and closes, we are very likely coming down to 860 again. And if 860 does not hold, we are coming down potentially to 822 on NVIDIA. So we're still watching that. It is still making a decision, and we'll see what it decides to do here later on. So with that said, that is the update today. What an exciting morning. We've got Bitcoin doing amazingly today, CleanSpark doing amazingly today. IREn was doing pretty darn good today, along with CIFR and then a few of the others. They're still doing very positively, but not nearly as positively as those. That's the update for this Monday morning open. I'll see you next time. Please like, comment, and subscribe, and have a profitable day.